to 12. Yet it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer, and though the Lord makes his life a guilt offering, he will see his offspring and prolong his days, and the will of the Lord will prosper in his hand. After the suffering of his soul, he will see the light of life and be satisfied. By his knowledge, my righteous servant will justify many, and he will bear their iniquities. Therefore, I will give him a portion among the great, and he will divide the spoils with the strong, because he poured out his life unto death, and was numbered with the transgressors. For he bore the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. Calvin asserts, knowledge of this sort, then ought not only to arouse us to the worship of God, but also to awaken and encourage us to the hope of the future life. If we truly know Jesus for who he is, we can grasp the true meaning of our lives, including the enjoyment that has been bestowed upon us. In the 8th century BC, Isaiah, one of Judah's prophets, preached about Christ Jesus, who would create a people truly resembling him, and in his pleasure becoming our own. I recommend verse 10b, the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. King James Version I quoted, emphasizing that God took pleasure in creation, yet we still yearn for a utopia that will never come. It has been observed that apart from genuine Christians, people typically do not seek the knowledge of Jesus mentioned in verse 11 because they lack understanding of salvation. Naturally, people often regard salvation as a utopian fantasy attainable in this world. True knowledge of salvation is revealed in verse 12. Jesus died on the cross, enabling our regeneration. It brings immense pleasure to God to infuse us with his grace. This imputed pleasure actively operates within born-again Christians, inspiring us to praise and pray to God even amidst life's trials. The spiritual victory of Jesus encompasses various fruits, such as the existence of born-again Christians and their present happiness.